Hey, what's up team? Welcome back. Let's learn our first assignment. Before we do me a favor and open up Audio Midi Setup within your computer. And at the very top, you're going to see Window. And I want you to show MIDI Studio. The reason I want you to do this is I just want to see if your controller is being recognized by your Mac. And so in my case, you can see Launch Control. It's highlighted. On the top right, please click on the keyboard here. It will be highlighted in blue. And when you start to play your controller, you will see that indicated on the screen. So this in fact is activated and ready to go. Let's create a control parameter assignment. I'd like to start with controlling the on-screen virtual controls. So inside of the channel strip here, we have volume, and I'd like to map that to this slider here. So there's a couple of different ways to do this. I'll do my best to walk you through each method. If I click on the volume slider, I'm telling Logic this is what I would like to map. And if I head on over to Logic Pro on top of the main menu bar and I go into control surfaces, let's go ahead and learn assignment for volume. Inside of the control assignments window, we can see there are two ways to view this, easy view and expert view. Let's stay in easy view for now. The parameter we're trying to learn is volume. Now we're just waiting for an input message. So let me grab that slider, go all the way down, all the way up slowly, and let's get out of learn mode. If you don't get out of learn mode, you could potentially start stepping on your own toes by learning one assignment on top of another. So it's good to always get in and out of learn mode. Okay, this time I'm simply going to hit Command L. Again, you could simply just click on this learn button here. The button is not highlighted in blue. Why is that? It's simply because this pop-up window is not in focus. So when I click on it, you can see the red, yellow, and green buttons are lit up. That tells me that this window is in focus. So just because something is not in focus does not mean that it's not on, so to speak. So you can see we are in learn mode. The parameter that's trying to be read right now is volume, but that's not what I'd like to assign to this knob. I'd like to assign pan. So let me click on the on-screen control, and that's been updated inside of the control assignments easy view window. And now I'm just waiting for that input message here. All right, let's get out of learn mode. Thus far, we've mapped volume and pan. So now I'd like to map plugin parameters to my control surface. So I'm going to double click on the EQ thumbnail here on the channel strip, and that's going to pull up an EQ. I think I'll use these three knobs here to map low cut, high cut, and the EQ gain. So I'll click on the parameter. Sometimes I'll actually just grab the controller and move it a bit just to make sure that Logic is looking at it. Hit Command L. Look at the controller assignments window. Make sure that the parameter is the one that you are trying to assign, and yes, it is channel EQ low cut frequency. And now we're just waiting for that input message. Here it is. You can see we're still in learn mode. So let's stay here and let me click on the high cut parameter. That will create a new assignment, and I'll use this knob for high cut. Because we're still in learn mode, we haven't deactivated it. You can see that here. Now I'll click on the channel EQ gain, and I'll use this third knob. All right, now I'd like to get out of learn mode, so let me hit that key command, Command L. Low cut, high cut, EQ gain. So now let me show you the fastest way to map in Logic Pro. On top of the EQ thumbnail, there's a horizontal bar. Let me click on that one time, and I'll map these three rotary knobs to the compressor controls. So this is going to operate a little bit differently. I'm going to go into learn mode by hitting Command L, but this time I won't let go of the Command key. So my thumb is going to be on Command the whole time. So just as before, I'll play with the parameter, make sure logic is looking at it. Then I'll hit Command L, let go of the L key. So now I'm in learn mode, but I haven't exited yet. I'm going to map the threshold to this knob here. Still holding Command as I touch on the next parameter. In this case, it's ratio. If you look at the controller assignment window, you can see that that's been picked up. Use the second knob to map ratio. And still holding Command, I click on the makeup gain and use this third rotary knob to map that. So we're still in learn mode. You can keep this going. This is very effective to map on-screen controls very quickly. But now it's time to exit out of learn mode. So I let go of the Command key, and if I click on the controller assignments window, you can see we are in fact out of learn mode. And if I turn these dials, I'm controlling threshold, ratio, and makeup gain. So we've mapped plugin parameters, we've mapped on-screen controls, and now I'd like to map key commands to these buttons here. So we're going to do this a little bit differently. This time I will bring up a new window called the key command window, option K. If you'd like to find this, go up to Logic Pro, Key Commands, and it's right here. So any key command that you use often, I highly recommend you start mapping them so you don't have to continuously go back to the keyboard and type in things all the time. Obviously, mute and solo is something we all do in every session, and so if you'd like, on the top right you can search for mute. I simply would like to toggle channel strip mute. So I'll click on learn new assignment, and obviously this is going to be binded or tied to the controller assignment window. So click here, make sure it's in focus, hit learn assignment, and I will mute. Alright, so you can see that we have created a new command inside of the controller assignment window. I'd like to do the same for solo. We could use the search filter up here, but another way of doing this is to click inside of the key command assignment window and click on what it is you're looking for. So let's say you're looking to open up the piano roll by means of a button. If you click on P, Logic will show you what that key command is assigned to. So X is assigned to the mixer, P the piano roll, so on and so forth. In this case, I'd like to map this to solo. So let's go ahead and learn assignment and solo. All right, let me exit out of the key command window by clicking on the red circle on top here. Move this over to the right, and now I can mute and I can solo. To learn more about Logic Pro, check out the work of Mr. Edgar Rothermich.